Calm, focus, happiness.
Hey, Mindful Tribe. We're here today to talk about affirmations. And that's exciting because we're here with the father of affirmations, and he's also the mental health coach to the stars. And he's worked with Hollywood celebrities, eight-figure company CEOs, and professional athletes, top executives, and entrepreneurs. He's famous for helping his coaching clients make more in just 12 weeks than they made in the previous 12 months. And I can tell you, like, it sounds kind of like hype, but this is real. This is for real. And I know it because I've interviewed him before, and I feel like I'm talking to a friend. I'm here today with Dr. Noah St. John. Dr. St. John, it's great to have you back on the show. How are you?
I'm great, Bruce, and it's great to be back here with you.
Yeah, and I know you're in mindfulness mode. I don't even have to ask you that.
Yep.
But we talked last time about what mindfulness meant to you and so on. And of course, Mindful Tribe, you can go back and check the episode. It was 242, and we called that episode "Get Rid of Your Head Trash and Earn the Millions You Deserve" with Dr. Noah St. John. And you know, you still deserve to earn millions, and you can do it. And he's got a new book called Millionaire Affirmations. Tell us about your book and tell us the subtitle of your book, Dr. St. John.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, it is entitled Millionaire Affirmations, the magic formula that will make you rich. How's that for a hook, right?
That's a great hook.
Yeah. And for most people listening and watching the program, it is a new word. It's AFFORMATIONS, AFFORMATIONS, affirmations. And I am the father of affirmations.
So you came up with the word, didn't you?
I did. I invented it. I discovered it. Now I'm going to I got to pause this for 1 second, Bruce. My cat is trying to get out of my office. I closed the door so we can have some privacy, and she's going to start. Just give me a minute here.
Yeah, sure.
Oh my gosh. Come on, cat. Really? Oh, brother.
Well, I have a cat too, and if she wanted something, she would want it.
Right. You know how it is.
That's
right?
what
And
cats are like.
Yeah, they jump on the, when I'm trying to write my books, and it's like, cat, come on, and of course you got to pet him, and now I can't write anything.
Of course.
But anyway, so back to affirmations.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Kat.
Tell us, what is the word affirmation? What does this mean?
Yes, absolutely. So again, I'll just reiterate, it's AFFORMATIONS. And by the way, you can learn more about affirmations at the official affirmations website, which is AFFORMATIONS.com. And then we'll tell you how to get this book, which is the new book, Millionaire Affirmations. But the point is that, of course, everybody listening to this program knows what an affirmation is, right? An affirmation, that's what the gurus have been teaching us for decades, right? It's a statement of something you want to be true. So, for example, as you mentioned, I'm the father of affirmations. I'm the mental health coach to the stars. So I'm an executive coach, a business coach, but I'm also a keynote speaker. And so as a keynote speaker, I get the privilege of speaking at different, companies and even small workshops, like 100 people up to multinational, global, seminars with literally thousands of people there. And so as a keynote speaker, one of the things I like to do with my audiences is have a little fun. And I like to say, all right, everybody, we're going to stand up and say an affirmation, just like they taught us to do. So everybody say, I am rich. And everybody goes, I am rich. You know what happens next? Everyone starts laughing.
And I go, because it feels awkward for some people.
Right, exactly.
Right?
That's right.
Yeah.
And I literally say, what are you laughing at? And they go, well, I'm not rich. And I say, but you just said you were. And they go, yeah, but I don't believe it. See, now, isn't that the funny thing? That is the irony of the affirmation method is we've been taught to say these statements, right, that we want to be true. But for most of us, in fact, we just don't believe it. In fact, interestingly, a scientific study was done on affirmations, the old way, and it found that 75% of the people, after they were using affirmations, actually were more frustrated than before because it didn't really work. So imagine if you had a smartphone and it didn't work 75% of the time, right? Would you keep using that phone?
You
or
would not keep using it.
No,
you would ditch that
right?
phone.
You trade it in for something better. So I invented a better phone, and so to use that analogy, my point is that, so what is an affirmation as opposed to the old affirmation? So an affirmation is an empowering question. Now, why is this so incredibly effective? Well, think about what the human mind does. In fact, that's how I discovered affirmations 25 years ago. In fact, in the book, I talk about how I discovered it, and I call it the shower that changed everything, because I was in the shower. It was a shower moment.
That's when some of the best ideas come to us, isn't it?
Exactly. That's right. So many, I'm sure most of the people listening to this program have had an aha moment in the shower. Well, this was a shower that changed everything for me 25 years ago. And so I was thinking about, how come I've been using the old affirmation method, right? The old way.
Yeah.
And I was saying, I'm happy, I'm rich, I'm successful. And the reality was, no, I'm not. I'm broke, unhappy, and miserable, right? So it's like, what the heck? So I was so frustrated. And I realized that the human mind actually responds to something much more powerful than statements, right? Because we were only taught this one way to do it, right? So imagine if you walked into Home Depot and they only had one tool to build your house, right? All they had was screwdrivers. And you're like, well, I kind of need more than that, right? You need some other
definitely.
tools. But they only have one thing, it's like, great. Anyway, so the point is that what I invented was this AFFORMATIONS method. So when you look at the human mind, it responds automatically to questions. For example, if I were to ask you, why is the sky blue? Why is the sky blue? Now, what instantly happened in your brain right there in that moment?
I started to wonder, why is the sky blue?
That's right. In fact, you couldn't help it. You could not do it. Psychologists call this the embedded presupposition factor of the brain. That simply means, that's a fancy way of saying that when you ask a question, your brain searches for the answer automatically. And so I said, why are we going around? This was in the shower 25 years ago. I literally said, after I realized this, I said, why are we going around making statements that we don't believe when the human mind responds automatically to something even more powerful, the power of questions? And then I said, well, let's see, what would that look like? So let's take that classic affirmation, like I just said, I am rich. And then your brain says, yeah, right. In my books and my training, my coaching, I actually call it the yeah, right response, because your brain goes, yeah, right. I don't believe it. Right now, what the guru said, by the way, is just, well, if you don't believe your affirmations, if you don't believe your statements, just repeat them 1,000 million billion kajillion times until you believe it someday. Now, for some people that worked, for 75% of us, it didn't. Right. And so, like I said, let's trade in the old phone that doesn't work for a better phone that works all the time, which is what you're already doing anyway, which is asking questions. So what I said is, instead of saying that statement that I don't believe, what would the question be? And then I said, why am I so rich? Why am I so rich? Now, when you form that question in your brain, what instantly starts to happen in your brain?
I start to think, oh, what are the ways that I am rich?
Exactly. Right. You start to search for the answer to the question. Right now, what we're talking about here, what I teach in my books and my courses and my coaching, is the law of sowing and reaping. As you sow, so shall you reap. Now, this is nothing new. It's been taught for centuries. However, what are most people doing? Well, what are all of us doing? We're sowing seeds of thought, right? We're sowing seeds of thought. As you sow, so shall you reap. We're sowing seeds of thought. But yet, what are most people doing? Sowing lousy thought seeds. Why am I so stupid? Why am I so fat? Why can't I lose weight? Why isn't my business growing? Why can't I get a date on Saturday night? Why can't I meet the right person? Why am I not getting enough patients or clients or customers for my business? Why is there more month left at the end of the money? Right?
Yeah. I'm going to pause you there. I'm going to pause you there because you are just way too excited.
I know.
Oh my gosh. Right? You are so excited about your affirmations in this new book. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like I have to breathe for a second and take all this in and just think, oh yeah, we've been hearing for so many years,
decades,
just keep repeating this. I am rich, or I am happy, or and it sometimes makes us feel very frustrated.
Precisely.
And so I just love how you've taken that idea and turned it around into a question. And what are we going to learn from reading your new book, which I can't wait to read, called Millionaire Affirmations?
Yes, absolutely. And so let me give you the website. In fact, it's really easy to remember. The title is Millionaire Affirmations, the magic formula that will make you rich. And the website where you can get $300 of bonus gifts when you get the book is very easy to remember. It's getmillionairebook.com. There you go.
Oh, that is
getmillionairebook.com. That's all you have to do.
I'm writing it down right now. Getmillionairebook.com.
And by the way, I will mention, we also have the companion journal for it that goes with the book, the companion journal. You definitely want to get the Millionaire Affirmations companion journal, because this is how you're going to make it a daily habit which is, again, the magic formula that will make you rich. We give you a whole year so you can literally make this a daily habit, so you can change your financial life in just 5 minutes a day. Just 5 minutes a day using my AFFORMATIONS method. Wow. It's really powerful and very easy too.
Okay. 5 minutes a day. Yep. I can practice these affirmations.
Yes.
And then I'm going to feel like I've really moved forward in my life.
That's correct. And so in the book, what I do is I prove it to you. I prove to you, to the reader, that you can change your financial future and you change your financial life in just 5 minutes a day. Now you say, well, that's impossible, Noah, right? I don't think I could do that. That's, I've been working at this for years and years and years. And, you're saying I can do it in 5 minutes. And I say, yeah, I can prove it. All right. So let's look at what I just taught you about AFFORMATIONS, right? So what's amazing about the human mind is we have 4 modes of human communication. There are 4 ways that we humans communicate: reading, writing, speaking, and listening. Okay. That's what we do, right? We can read, we can write, we can speak, we can say words like I'm doing right now, like we're having conversation, right? And listening, right? So I talk, you listen, you talk, I listen, and so forth and so on, right? But we can also talk to ourselves and listen to ourselves. Isn't that interesting? All right. So those are the 4 modes of human communication. So what I teach you in the book is, I call it my core 4 formula, to use my AFFORMATIONS method to change your financial life in 5 minutes a day. So how does it work? It's actually very simple. So the first minute, you want to read your affirmations. Remember I said that's the 4 modes, right? So first is reading. So you literally pick up your book of affirmations, your Millionaire Affirmations book, and you just read for 1 minute. All you have to do is read for 1 minute. And by the way, I give you affirmations on the main areas of how to become a millionaire, how to be wealthy, whatever that means to you, wealth, focus, self-confidence, goal setting, purpose, work-life balance, and millionaire habits. All right. So in this book, I give you over 200 different affirmations you can use, as well as people's stories. I mean, we had an experiment going on with a 14-day Millionaire Affirmations challenge, and people literally changed their lives in just 14 days using my affirmations method. And I share those stories in the book. It's kind of like chicken soup for the millionaire soul. Cool. And so that's minute number 1. Minute number 2, reading, and then you want to write them. That's why you want to get the companion journal, because you want to write your affirmations.
Okay, and you can write them right into that journal.
Exactly. You put them right in the journal. We give you a whole year, and you can write as many as you want. You can just go nuts. All right. So that's writing, but it only takes one minute. You can write for 1 minute. I mean, some people write longer, if they're really going crazy and, having fun with it. Definitely. I'd say you don't have to stop. But my point is that, and I'll get to that in a second. I don't want to get ahead of myself. So that's reading, writing, then speaking. You want to say it out loud. So just like you're reading in the book, you just say it out loud, and you can just read it from the book, your affirmations. And people go, man, that sounds kind of weird. I'm going to be embarrassed. Like, what are you embarrassed about? Do you want to, do you want to keep struggling? Do you want to stay stuck? Do you want to stay not reaching your goals? I mean, if you could just talk for 1 minute and that would change your life, wouldn't you do it? So you can talk to
do what Dr. St. John says.
Hello,
because he knows how to do this stuff. He's been there. He's been in the place where things were not working. Correct. And then moved through toward the place where things were working. And now you are changing how we can do it by, I love that subtitle, The Magic Formula That Will Make You Rich. And we have to be so careful not to let the word magic formula trigger something in our brain that tells us, oh, this must be a hype that doesn't work. It's real. It really does work, right, Dr. St. John?
Yes. I was actually a little embarrassed by that subtitle myself. And so, when that subtitle was presented to me, I was like, ooh, man, does that sound like hype? And the more that I sat with it, I'm like, but it's actually really true. And I prove it to you in the book. It is a magic formula. And yes, it will make you rich. I mean, the point is, this isn't magic, right? I'm not saying you're going to get $1 million in your bank account next Tuesday. It doesn't work that way here on planet Earth. There's a lot of teachers out there that say, all you have to do is think about money and money pours in from the sky. I'm like, great. What planet does that work on? I'll move to that planet.
It doesn't work on this planet. At least it doesn't work for me. Maybe it works for someone.
No, it doesn't work for anyone. I mean, the point is, here on planet Earth, we have to do this annoying thing called take action, right? If we want to actually get a result. It's like saying, you know what, I'm going to sit on the couch and I'm going to think about having 6-pack abs. I'm going to eat junk food and never exercise. How's that sound? That's not going to work.
It's definitely not. No.
But people think, because we've been told this, by a lot of gurus out there, just think about money, focus on money. It's like, no, that's not enough. I mean, it's not wrong, but it's not enough. Okay.
And what I love about you is that you you talk about this and you do all of this with a sort of a mindfulness slant to
Oh,
it.
absolutely.
There's a mindfulness slant to it that I really enjoyed learning about when I interviewed you before. And
Mhm.
that was like, I couldn't believe it. I think that was 2017.
It's been a
But
while, yeah.
yeah, that was quite a while. And you just really resonated with me. And
Oh,
every time I saw you on social media, I saw your face and I just thought all these really good thoughts about
oh,
how
thank you.
real you are and how down to earth you are and how you really got the message across to me that you really want to help people. You're not in it to just make a lot of money or fame and fortune and all that. You really truly want to help people. When did you first discover in your life that that's what made you tick?
When I was 25 years old, I decided to commit suicide
Oh
because I didn't
wow.
know my purpose here on the earth. And so I
Wow.
was very depressed, very frustrated. I'd been reading all those self-help books for many, many years.
Yeah.
I grew up poor in a rich neighborhood, and so I had never had money, never had any success. But I wanted to, I wanted to be
Yeah.
successful. I wanted to, have things and nice things and stuff like that. But I just could never put it together as hard as I was working. And so that's why I decided to take my own life when I was 25 years old. Now, at the very last minute, my life was spared. I didn't know why at the time, but I decided to devote the rest of my life to serving God and serving humanity as best I could while I was still here on the earth. The problem was I didn't know why I was here on the earth. And
Mm-hmm.
so it took me 5 years of study and introspection and, reading all these spiritual books to find my purpose. And that's what happened in 1997 when I discovered I had two epiphanies that changed my life. The first was when I discovered AFFORMATIONS and the shower that changed everything,
Mm-hmm.
April 1997. And the second was when I discovered what I called success anorexia, which is a condition that millions of people have unknowingly. They don't know they have it, but that is actually causing them to stop themselves from success. And just to tell you a quick story about that, I have a program you mentioned earlier in this program that I help. I'm famous for helping people make more in 12 weeks than I made in the past 12 months. So we have a program called 12-Week Breakthrough, where we actually do that, where I literally walk people through this process, not just AFFORMATIONS, but everything that I teach. It's a whole system to help you make more in 12 weeks than you made in the last 12 months, while actually taking more time off, not working harder, but
Mm-hmm.
actually literally getting more hours back in your day and more life back in your life. And so I just got an email today from one of our 12-week breakthrough clients who's going through that program right now. And she told me in her email that she had the biggest epiphanies of her life when she realized through this process that I teach about why she has been holding herself back for literally decades. And it was a result of things that she had never looked at before, no one had ever talked about before. And just, she said the light bulbs, went on. And I mean, this literally just happened this week, so it's really exciting when people see that, oh my gosh, I didn't know why I've been holding myself back. I didn't know why I've been working so hard and I'm not getting the results that I want. And the answer is, well, because no one told you, so that is my purpose. You mentioned, Bruce, that, that's what you get from me. And I'm very happy to hear that because that is my mission. When I discovered AFFORMATIONS and success anorexia, I realized this is my purpose on the earth. I've been doing it for 25 years now. I used to be the youngest guy in the room. Now I'm one of the old guys.
Yeah.
And so, I've been doing this a very long time. Not many coaches, speakers, authors have been doing it for as long as I have. And it's really a privilege to do this and to see people's lives change like that. I mean, it's just really, really exciting and very rewarding.
If you were just to close your eyes right now, Dr. St. John, and think of one of the stars, one of the really well known people that you've worked with, and how you really made an impact on their lives, what story would come up for you?
Well, I mean, there's a lot. I'll just say that there are a lot of stories. I'll give you one example. And this is from not necessarily a celebrity, but somebody who was doing what most of us would consider doing well, but they knew they could be doing a heck of a lot more with their lives. And so I was speaking at an event in Los Angeles for about 1,000 entrepreneurs, and there were some celebrities in the audience and things like that. And I mean, these were like 6, 7, 8-figure earners. So pretty powerful, power packed audience, right? And so I just finished speaking and presenting my presentation. I was walking off the stage and a man came up to me and he said, Noah, I want to hire you as my coach. You are the coach that I've been looking for. Now, I didn't know this man from Adam. Ironically, his name was Adam. and so I said, okay, well, what's going on? He said, Noah, I'm totally stuck. I'm only making $4 million a year. Now, of course, I had to laugh, right? I mean, like, and I even said it to him. I'm like, well, who wouldn't want to be stuck at $4 million a year? This does not sound like a big problem to me, right? He said, well, Noah, I own this company, and he's the CEO of this company, and he said that we got to 4 million in revenues really fast, but I've been stuck. The company's been stuck at 4 million for the past 4 years. 4 years. They haven't had any growth, flatlined. And he said, I've spent all this money. I paid all these gurus, all these marketing guys, all this money, and yet we're still stuck. And he said, as soon as I heard you speak about AFFORMATIONS, success anorexia, and your foot on the brake and head trash, everything you just said, he said, I knew instantly you are the coach I've been looking for. He literally hired me right on the spot. So I worked with him for about 2 years. And in that 2-year period, Bruce, his company went from being stuck at 4 million for the previous 4 years to over $20 million in sales, literally a 6 times increase. And what's amazing about that is we didn't talk about marketing. We didn't talk about sales. We didn't talk about his website. We didn't do any of that stuff that he'd already spent all that time money with the gurus and the marketing guys. Not saying any of that's wrong or bad. You have to do all that in business, right? But all we worked on was exactly what I'm sharing now, which I call the inner game of success. It's all about the inner game. The inner game is everything that happens between your ears, but that you can't see directly, right? But it affects everything that you do. So what's fascinating to see now is that there are so many celebrities and athletes who are talking about mental health. I've been teaching this for 25 years. 25 years ago, if you said mental health, they'd throw you in the asylum. I mean, you couldn't talk about it. It was definitely verboten,
That's true.
So now it's literally only been in the last like 5 years that, now it's kind of everywhere because all these celebrities like Michael Phelps and Kevin Love and Serena Williams and on and on and on. I mean, literally, and Lady Gaga. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. Now the celebrities that are coming out talking about. So now it's like okay for people to talk. I'm like, I've been teaching this for 25 years, guys. It's not nice for you to join me. Thanks a lot. Yeah, but it's nice. I mean, I'm glad because now people don't have to hide it. There was such a stigma around it, and there still is in some quarters, of course. But what's nice is that these celebrities, in a sense, give the rest of us permission to talk about it. And that makes my job a heck of a lot easier.
And can you tell us a little bit more about success anorexia and what that really, truly means?
Absolutely. So think about the problems that most people have, right? So let's talk about entrepreneurship for a minute, because that's, typically who I work with are entrepreneurs, experts, athletes and things like that. So their income is dependent upon their actions. That's how I look. That's what I look into, in general, right? So their income is dependent on their actions. So people say, well, no, I'm posting all the time on social media. I'm not getting a response. I'm creating these lead magnets. Nobody wants them. I'm trying all these funnels. They're not working. I was following all the gurus. I've tried webinars. I've tried Facebook ads. I've tried all of this stuff, but I'm still not where I want to be. And I feel overwhelmed. I'm procrastinating. I don't have the focus that I want. I have all these distractions. And I say, okay, I hear what you're saying, but here's what I want you to know. You don't have 99 problems. You don't even have 10 problems. You actually only have one problem. And they go, what do you mean? I said, well, you actually only have one problem that's causing all these other problems. And so they go, well, what's that problem then? Well, that problem, the way that I teach it, is called head trash. Now, head trash, and you mentioned this before, this is another one of my books called Get Rid of Your Head Trash About Money, which you can get at sendmeabooknoah.com. Also very easy to remember. Sendmeabooknoah.com. The book is free and you just cover shipping. But so head trash is formed by this condition that I discovered 25 years ago called success anorexia. Success anorexia is a condition that causes someone to, now listen to what I'm about to say, starve themselves of success. Now, for some people, you're going, what? And others are going, holy crap, that's my whole life.
That's what I'm doing. I'm tasting a little bit of success, and then I'm pushing it away.
That's exactly what my client was writing to me, that email I was just describing. That's exactly what she said. She literally said to me, Noah, every single time that I start to have some success, I just go do something else. and I go, hello, and this is just one symptom, by the way. There's many, many other symptoms like the ones I was just talking about. But here's the problem, the real problem. So remember, you don't have 99 problems. You don't even have 10 problems. You only have the one problem that's causing all the other problems. So the problem is this. Then everybody's running around trying to fix the symptoms. Right. So they're, like Adam, that client I just also talked to you about, he was going to all the marketing guys. It must be a marketing problem. I know, I'll just do more Facebook ads. I'll do more webinars. I'll pay this guru. I'll pay that guru. And maybe they'll teach me something. Listen, I paid the gurus $500,000, literally over $500,000 over a 20-year period, only to find out they can't teach their way out of a paper bag, And so it's really awful because, and I'm really on a mission, to help people who are, as many people have said, recovering seminar junkies. They're just going to all these different seminars, getting all this, as I call it, shelf help, right? They have all the shelf help.
There are a lot of people like that, aren't there? No.
Exactly. And so again, that's not the problem. It's a symptom, but it's not the actual problem. So the point is that, I've been here curing success anorexia for 25 years. That's one of the reasons that we've helped our clients make over $2.7 billion using my method, 6, 7, 8, and 9-figure increases in their business. And so the point is that success anorexia is the condition that causes a human being to starve themselves of success. And then all you need to do is look at the different symptoms. So everybody listening to this program are going, well, let's see. Yeah, I'm procrastinating. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm trying all this different marketing stuff. Nothing's working. I don't have the clients that I want. Okay, I get it, but those are symptoms. And I just want to say this. When you only treat symptoms without treating the cause of those symptoms, what always happens to the symptoms?
Well, they get worse.
They get worse. Exactly. They either stay the same or they get worse.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, imagine if you had a toothache, right? You have a toothache. Oh man, my tooth really hurts. You know what? I'll just take some pain pills. Okay, well, that's fine. And I'm not saying that that's exactly wrong, but you haven't even identified the reason why you're in pain in the first place,
exactly.
Right? So coming to me is kind of like, and I hate to use this analogy, but kind of like going to the dentist. But guess what? After you fix the tooth, you feel a heck of a lot better, don't you? It might be a little bit painful. And I mean, I will say this, like we do have clients, who get some tears sometimes. I have one male client that I'm working with. I mean, he's a tough guy, big tough guy. He's Army veteran. And, he's doing this work with me in the 12-week breakthrough that I was talking about. And, he's been in tears sometimes. And I'm like, oh, that's okay. Because what it is, sometimes people have been holding on to this for, years or decades. And no one has ever been there just listening to them and making them understand it's not your fault. You've just been taught incorrectly. You've been taught surface. You've been taught symptoms. Well, symptoms ain't going to fix the problem. But once you fix the problem, one of my clients said it perfectly years ago. He said, Noah, do you realize that your coaching is the only coaching that fixes every other coaching? And I said, yeah, you're right. That is true. And that was a nice statement.
Well, I think there are a lot of people that have been, there are a lot of people that haven't hired a coach, but there are people who have and have been burned and feel like, oh my gosh, I spent so much money and it didn't work. And then it can feel like it was even worse than not hiring a coach in the first place. And that can be really difficult to deal with.
Absolutely. Well, and here's another problem. What does it take to be a coach today? What does it take to be a coach? You saying you're a coach. That's
just
what it is.
You saying you're a coach.
I'm a coach.
Putting it out there and being willing to accept the money.
If you want to be an attorney, can you just go around saying, I'm an attorney? No, you got to pass the bar. If you want to be an accountant, you say, I'm an accountant? No, you got to get this, pass the CPA exam.
That's true.
If you want to be a professor, you just say, you see what I'm getting at. The point is in coaching, which is sad, there's no oversight at all. It's just, I'm a coach. Oh, great. You and 10 billion other people. What are your qualifications? Have you helped anyone? And so the sad part is the people who are winning today are very simply the best marketers. That's really all it is. It has absolutely nothing to do with if they're any good, at coaching or teaching or mentoring. So the thing is, the truth is that I mentor and coach a lot of great people who have been burned, as you were stating. And I've been burned. I have a spreadsheet. So I can tell you 83 times I've been burned by these guys.
Wow.
And so, no, it's awful. And that's why, like I said, I'm on a mission to make sure that people are taken care of.
Did you ever have trouble keeping your chin up after any of those events, after you paid good money?
Oh, it's been awful. It's been awful. They really, not only did they suck my money, they sucked my time and they sucked my self-confidence. So it's really bad. So for anybody listening, believe me, I've been there. I feel you. I get it. And it's just tough. You just have to, the best thing that I can say is do your homework. Just research. So when you go to my website, for example, go to noahstjohn.com and see the just hundreds and hundreds of case studies, success stories that we have. That's I don't know how else to do it, because there is no oversight. There is no, committee or whatever. So you just have to go with your instinct. Like Adam that I told you have to, he knew instantly on the spot that I was a coach that he'd been looking for. And of course he got amazing results. And, so have many, many other people as a result of our work. So the point is, whatever you're looking for, you just have to do your homework and make sure that, that you're vetting that person as best you can.
Right. Yeah. Well, Mindful Tribe, I think you'll want to get a hold of this book, millionaireaffirmations.com, and the magic formula that will make you rich. And of course, you can go to getmillionairebook.com. That's where you should go to get it. And just as we wrap up the interview, do you have any final words of advice for somebody that might be frustrated or feeling a little bit unsure about whether this is for them or not? What words of advice would you have, Dr. St. John?
I would write down what is frustrating you right now. I'm putting out all the social media, nothing's happening. I'm doing all these lead magnets, nobody's getting them. I'm doing webinars, ads. I'm feeling overwhelmed, procrastinating, whatever. Like I was listing, just list down, which we now know are your symptoms. You think they're the problem, and they're a problem, right? But they're not the problem. They're not the problem that's causing the problem. And so list down your symptoms, and then just go back and listen to this interview and see if you can relate to anything that I was saying. Do I think maybe I'm starving myself of success? Do I think maybe I've got some head trash? Does this AFFORMATIONS method make sense to me? And if it does, if yes to any of those questions, then, get the book, check us out. You can go to my YouTube channel. You can go to watchnoahtv.com. You can watch some of my videos, but go to noahstjohn.com, see some of our different programs and coaching. We have everything from, one-on-one coaching, that's, $100K really, up, down to, like a $49 AFFORMATIONS advantage. And just as a really, really quick story, I asked one of my clients just recently, I said, how much do you think your head trash is costing you this year? And he said $1 million. He literally said, without batting an eye, $1 million. So I said, how about if I just charge you 10% of that? You give me 10% of that, and I'll get you that $1 million back. So he paid me $100,000. He's already doubled his money in less than 12 weeks. So The point of the story is that when you fix the problem that causes the other problems actually do disappear. So there is hope, there is help, and just take advantage of it.
Dr. St. John, thank you so much for putting this out into the world to help people to, spread the message. I really appreciate you being on the show again.
My pleasure.
All the best to you. Bye now.
Thank you.
Hey, Mindful Tribe. Are you experiencing anxiety? Are you experiencing stress and tension and feeling as though, it's just difficult to move on? That describes the clients I work with. Clients who have had an awful lot of problem with anxiety and stress, and maybe some kind of habits that are holding them back. And through hypnosis, we get to the bottom of it. We get right in there and we talk about it. But with hypnosis, we get right into what is causing some of this in your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind represents about 90 to 95% of your thoughts, and you don't even realize what those thoughts are much of the time. And through hypnosis, we can get in there and we can work at this. Doesn't mean we're going to change what's going on in your subconscious mind. It means we're going to become more aware of it and then deal with it and think of it differently in the conscious mind. And I am so happy to have helped so many people with their anxiety through hypnosis and coaching. And you could be the next person. If you're listening to this episode and you would like to let go of some of this anxiety, send me an email, bruce@mindfulnessmode.com. Put coaching session in the subject line, coaching session, send it to bruce@mindfulnessmode.com. And I would love to have you on a Zoom call for a free session where we can talk about what's going on and what's happening and how can I help you. Because that's one thing I truly know about myself, is that I really love helping other people, and I would love to help you. So thanks for listening. Take what we've learned today to reach new heights of calm, focus, and happiness. Stay in the mode.